Thank y'all for joining me. I'm here today to announce that I am filing suit here in Pulaski County against the pharmaceutical benefits managers for their role in the opioid crisis. As you know, we have struggled as a state, as a country, with the opioid crisis. It's truly a national crisis. Some states bore more of that brunt than the others. It led to massive litigation, including litigation involving this state. And for whatever reason, historically, that litigation was focused on the manufacturers, the distributors, some of the pharmacies, but not the PBMs. And there were certainly a number of factors that went into causing the opioid crisis. And we've held a variety of the players, some of which I just mentioned, responsible through litigation, ultimately settlement. The PBMs have thus far, at least in this state, have not been a part of that, and they should be. So today I am filing against two PBMs, pharmacy benefits managers, in particular, Optum and Express Scripts. The PBMs operate really in a unique space. They have massive data collection ongoing that gives them, if you look at the different players, sort of manufacturers, the PBMs, then the specific distributors and the pharmacies, the national pharmacies in particular. If you look at those players, the PBMs are uniquely situated to know what was going on and to take action to deal with it. At the front end, they were uniquely positioned to prevent it, and at the back end, they were uniquely positioned to respond. Instead, what they did was prioritize maintaining their profits. And as you will see in the coming months, as this unfolds and as we're able to share more information with you, suffice it to say for now, the PBMs were acting in a way that prioritized maintaining their profits over prioritizing what they could have been doing to ameliorate the crisis that was ongoing here in Arkansas and around the country. You should be getting, if you need do we have copies of the complaint? You do have that? Okay. So I want to show you just real quickly a couple of slides that show the consolidation that occurred in this PBM world. And it shows just how the players that are the subject of today's lawsuit have subsumed, consolidated with all these other companies. And so what the end result is that you have PBMs that have the data from the manufacturers, the data from the distribution. Using a military analogy, they have the best and have had the best overall view of the battlefield, of what was going on, where it was going on, why it was going on, and what could have been done to address it. So let's see if this technology, so this is on Optum, and it just shows, I'm going to step away from the mic for a second, it just shows the evolution, how all this is pushed into Optum today in 2021. But you see this consolidation and then with regard to Express Scripts, something similar. So what does this have to do with it? Well, what it shows is how much data collection, how much control, how much decision making has been pushed in to these PBMs. And again, if you're trying to picture in your mind what it looks like in terms of the flow, you've got the manufacturers, then you've got the PBMs, the pharmacy benefits managers, okay? And then you've got the distributors, and then the pharmacies. And to date, in Arkansas and in most places, the PBMs were left out of the accountability. And there were some previously that felt like the PBMs maybe didn't have a significant role. Let me just tell you, the PBMs had a front row seat. They had probably more visibility. They had more visibility as to what was going on than anybody else. They were not secondary players. They were primary players. They could have taken steps through processes, pre-approval and other processes to address the problem, but instead they prioritized the profits. This suit is based on a number of causes of action, including public nuisance, negligence, and unjust enrichment, and that will be filed this morning if it's not filed already. And if you need a stamped copy, we can get you that a little later. There will be a lot more to share in the coming months and years. This certainly, we're in it for the long haul, but this is long overdue, and I'm happy to take any questions. Yes, sir.
Can you maybe speak a little bit more as to the process behind the decision to incorporate or to maybe file a lawsuit against the PBMs after they've been perhaps overlooked for so long at a national level?
Well, let's just say that I can't. Some of the information that we have is still confidential under agreements that we have, but suffice it to say, this was not a close call. We have information that supports what I have indicated here today, and I know it's a lot, but if you will go through the pleading, some of the information that we were able to share is laid out here in the pleading. This is it's not a decision we took lightly. I took lightly. It actually made a lot of sense to me from the outset, and I immediately began to question why not earlier. And so there was no question in my mind that this needed to happen. I know there's not a lot of specifics in that, but you're just going to have to wait on some of those specifics to a later date. Except, of course, what's laid out in the pleading. Okay?
Can you, and I'm sorry, I've got one more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Could you maybe just quickly summarize, just maybe for the average reader who may not know what PBMs
Yeah.
do? I know you mentioned where they are in the chain, but can you say a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so pharmacy benefits managers, they are part of the distribution system, and certainly at the very top are the producers of the pharmaceuticals, but the PBMs control, manage the distribution of those pharmaceuticals, and at a top level, not just in a city, not just in a state, but across the country. And as a result, they have access to significant amounts of data, and that data could have been leveraged, used to know what was happening, where it was happening, when it was happening, and to some degree why it was happening. A lot of that information was known. So the question is, what was done with the data? The data was, instead of being used to discourage, address, ameliorate, the data was used to maximize profits. Does that work?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Do we have a number? How many PBMs are involved?
Two PBMs are involved.
Just two.
Yep, and they're listed as Express Scripts and Optum.
They are both local?
Oh, no. These are national organizations, national companies. But they operate here, obviously. Okay, thank y'all. Appreciate you. Just we'll keep you updated from time to time, and as we get more information that we can share. Okay, thank you.